it's absolutely vital that we have these kind of communications, military to military. That imperative, I think, was only underscored by recent incidents that we saw in the air and on the seas. At this moment, China has not agreed to move forward with that.
China refused to establish a crisis communications channel with U.S. military officials. Despite Washington's warnings, its absence raises the risk of an unintentional conflict between the powers. During a recent visit to China, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken appealed to the PRC to reopen a line of communications with the U.S. He also addressed Chinese complaints about U.S. sanctions and technology exports to China, maintaining Washington still wants to preserve strong business ties between the world's two largest economies.
We want to see success in every part of the world, including, of course, in the major economies like China. It's in our interest. But at the same time, as I said, it's not in our interest to provide technology to China that could be used against us.
Though Beijing did not rule out a possible crisis if the United States does not acquiesce to its demands regarding Taiwan.
We support the one China policy. We support all that we've done in the past. But that does not mean that China has the ability, the jurisdiction to go in and use force to take over Taiwan.
The trip was a long-awaited one for Blinken, who intended to travel to Beijing earlier in the year, but scrapped the itinerary when an apparent Chinese surveillance balloon was detected over U.S. airspace. The lack of contact between U.S. and Chinese defense officials has been a point of open dispute for the two sides and anxiety for Washington. Chinese defense officials have gone silent on their American counterparts. And Chinese fighter pilots and naval commanders have instigated an alarming increase in close calls between the two militaries near Taiwan and in the South China Sea, a trend the U.S. regards as a deliberate effort to pressure Biden to abandon U.S. alliances and partnerships in the region.
We have no illusions about the challenges of managing this relationship. There are many issues on which we profoundly, even vehemently, disagree.